All right, it is Friday night, September 26th, and you know exactly what that means. The weekend's football is kicking off, and if you need a super fast rundown of all the key matches across Europe, well, you are in the right place. Let's get right into it.
That's right. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. The weekend starts now. The floodlights are on, the pitches are ready, and the action is about to get underway.
Okay, but with so many games on, where's the real story? Where's the can't miss drama? We've got everything tonight. Title challengers, scrappy mid-table fights, and some seriously desperate battles for survival. So let's break down where you need to be focusing your attention. First up, let's talk about the big guns, the high flyers. We're heading to the sharp end of the table, where every single point is absolutely crucial, even this early in the season. And we're going to start in Germany with an absolute classic. You've got the league leaders, Bayern Munich, at home, trying to keep their perfect start going against a pretty solid Werder Bremen team. Now, on paper, you'd think this is a straightforward home win, but there's a little twist.
So here's what's so interesting. Yeah, of course, you see Bayern with a perfect 18 points from 6 games. That is just terrifying form. But look over at those injuries. Jamal Musiala, their main creative force, and Mathis de Ligt, a beast in defense, are both out. That could just leave the door a little bit ajar for Bremen.
So what does that all mean for the final score? Well, our prediction is a 3-2 thriller of a win for Bayern. We're expecting a ton of goals. Bayern's attack should still have more than enough firepower, but that weak in defense, it might just give Bremen a real shot at making this a memorable one. Okay, next up, we're heading over to Northern Ireland for what looks like a textbook David versus Goliath story. You've got 8th-placed Bangor FC hosting the league leaders, Linfield, who look, well, pretty much unstoppable right now. Just look at that number, 21. That's how many points Linfield have picked up. 7 games played, 7 games won, 100% record. They aren't just starting well, they're absolutely flawless. That is pure dominance. And, the data here, it just tells the whole story, doesn't it? Linfield are already 12 points ahead of their opponents after the same number of games. They might have a slight doubt over their attacker Chris McKee, but honestly, it's hard to see that slowing down this runaway train. So, yeah, no huge surprise with this prediction. It's got to reflect that dominance, right? We're calling a comfortable 3-0 away win. Looks like that perfect record is going to keep on rolling for at least another week. Now for something totally different over in the Welsh top flight. This is no mismatch. This is a proper top 4 heavyweight battle between Bala Town and the New Saints, or TNS as they're known. This one could have huge consequences at the top of the table. And you can see just how tight this is, only 2 points separating them. But the killer detail here, the thing that could decide it all, is in that final column. TNS, full squad. Bala Town, missing a key player in Will Evans. In a game of tiny margins, that could be everything. And that one detail really shapes this prediction, a 5-goal thriller going to the away side 3-2. We're expecting a real back-and-forth contest here, but TNS having a full, healthy squad should just give them the edge. Definitely circle this one for sheer entertainment value. All right, let's pull our focus away from the title races for a minute and dive into what I like to call the engine room of any league table, the mid-table melee. This is where every game feels like a 6-pointer, and the fight for position is fierce. So for this one, we're dropping into Spain's 2nd division. You've got 5th-placed Mirandes hosting 12th-placed Real Zaragoza. Now, while Mirandes are right in the hunt for promotion, this is a massive opportunity for Zaragoza to go on the road and grab a huge scalp. Okay, so you see that 5-point gap on the table, but the real story here might be hidden in those injuries. Both teams are missing important players, a key defender for Mirandes, a goal threat for Zaragoza. That could easily turn this into a really tight, cagey, tactical affair. And that leads us to a really interesting prediction. A shock 1-0 away win for Zaragoza. This suggests a bit of an upset is on the cards in a very low-scoring game. What a massive result that would be for the visitors if they can pull it off. And now we move to what is, arguably, the most intense drama in all of football, the fight to stay up. The pressure down at the bottom is just immense, and tonight we've got a huge, huge game in La Liga. Here it is, Girona versus Espanyol. Girona are down in the relegation zone, 18th place. Espanyol are just hovering above the danger line in 15th. I mean, I can't overstate this. A win for either of these teams would be absolutely monumental for their entire season.
Whew. Okay, so the crucial info here is just devastating if you're a Girona fan. They've only managed 3 points from their first 7 games. And to make it all so much worse, they're missing their top goal scorer, Christian Stuani, and a key midfielder in Aleix Garcia. And they're up against a full-strength Espanyol. It is a really dire situation.
So, not surprisingly, the prediction points to more pain for Girona. We're expecting a really narrow, hard-fought 1-0 win for Espanyol. That kind of result would give them some vital breathing room while pushing Girona even deeper into trouble. Whew! Okay, after that whirlwind tour of Europe, what are the big themes? What connects all these matches tonight? Let's boil it all down so you know exactly what to look for. So, to wrap it all up, keep an eye out for goals over in Germany, but also pay close attention to how big injuries to stars like Musiala and Stuani could decide games. In Northern Ireland, the big question is simple. Can anyone stop Linfield? And down in Spain, get ready for some tense, nail-biting, low-scoring dogfights. And that brings us to the final question I want to leave you with. Think about it. Which result tonight is going to cause the biggest ripple effect? Is it a shock draw for Bayern, a massive upset for Zaragoza, or that Espanyol win that could start to seal Girona's fate? Tonight's not just about the scores, it's about the consequences. Which one do you think will send the biggest shockwaves through its league? Enjoy the football.